All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to, what is it, Turnaround Wednesday instead of Turnaround Tuesday. Interesting stuff. A lot going on in the past 24 hours, a little bit of a relief rally or not after the Jerome and Janet slaughter yesterday. It's almost like the dude got his, got some job security and then came out and finally had to tell the truth. What do I got going on? Obviously long Amazon. If you logged in early, tried to get out of Amazon right at the open for about a 15 grand profit in a day. Didn't get filled. And now it's just kind of heading back down to one of those $25 increments, 35, 25, hanging out, looking if we're going to launch. I'm trying to buy 5 more out to February. Those are going to be my lotto calls, and I'm going to trade off the front month 10, so to speak. AMC, Tesla, still, and unfortunately Twitter. But Kathy Woods from ARK just literally loaded the boat with a kabillion shares of Twitter, so that's on a run. Hopefully I can get out of that thing and stay sane. Let me see if I got filled on these Amazon calls because I want them now because it's starting to run. Let me buy these. Let's go. Man, Hardy would have made about 3 grand. Might have to come in at the as it starts to run here. That's why you have to maybe come in at the ask as it starts running. And I won't even get filled there. Let's go. The fills are awful with E-Trade. They're just awful. Okay, so long 10 of these calls. I threw on some short 35, 75s to see if we're going to break out of this range. I'm going to trade in and out of these. And okay, good stuff. December, man. Holy crap. We are in December. Had a great November, man. One of the best months of the year so far. I made over 100 grand alone just in Amazon. What a great month. I think I was up next 60 or 70 for the month. So happy with that performance. A lot of stupidity going on. I mean, you guys know I know Jim. I don't know him that well. I know him well enough that I didn't buy thestreet.com when I had the opportunity to. And that should tell you something. I mean, he's, my family's from South Philly. He's a South Philly guy. I get who he is, but his rant the other night was horrific. CNBC should have fired the guy. I mean, we know that these liberal media networks, you literally have to kill somebody. Maybe not even that gets you fired. I mean, look at Fredo Como finally last night, not being fired, just like indefinite leave, right? The guy's a physical scumbag, literally a scumbag. His brother's scummy. They're just scummy New York Comos. Their dad was. They're just scummy New York politicians. If you don't have a kind word to say about somebody, Wiz, don't say it. Okay, I'll shut up now. They're just scummy. And what he did, I'm a journalist. He used his resources to go after these women. It doesn't get, Democrats and liberals are exactly what they accuse Republicans of being. This Supreme Court nominee maybe did something at a high school party 40 years ago that nobody can verify, but he absolutely did because he cried. It means he's guilty. But Democrats, when they actually sexually assault or use their power to try and silence women, the women are silent themselves. It's gross. It's awful, but whatever. Why am I ranting about this? Because Jim Cramer had a rant the other night where he just completely unhinged, right? He looked as unhinged as when he was screaming that you need to buy Bear Stearns and you're an idiot if you don't, at $70, and then it was at $0 a couple days later. I mean, who wouldn't take life or death advice from a guy who since day one of his career has never beat the S&P 500, I think. But his rant was the United States military has to get involved and force vaccinate people. I had to rewind I'm like, what did he just say? And he's now, and of course, all the sycophants are like, yes, it's about time somebody said something like this. I'm like, are you fucking all retarded? You want to talk about a revolution? I guarantee you half of this military would be, you want to see a civil war? That would be it. We're not a bunch of Nazis, folks, that just take orders like, Yeah, but they said burn all these people, and that dude's an officer, and he told me to do it. It's called the Nuremberg defense. It doesn't work. Jim Cramer, you're a piece of shit. You should be fired. You should be groveling right now in front of the American people. Yeah, exactly. Trust me. There's 300 million guns in the United States. The only reason we're not Australia right now is because we have a Second Amendment. I love how Australia started as a penal colony and it's ending as one. No offense, Graham. I know you're down there with a couple of our other TGO members, but at the end of the day, folks, the only reason I'm just, this made me furious. How dare you? A dude, I love people who've never worn the uniform, love using people who wear the uniform for their social bullshit. Jim Cramer, you're fired. I take over CNBC, you're the first guy I'm going to clip. He's awful. Anyway, other than that, Ms. Lincoln, how was the play? We talked yesterday. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We're just awful. Joe Biden's an idiot. Kamala's an idiot. Mayor Pete's an idiot. And Russia and China know it, and they're going to take advantage of us. They're going to invade Ukraine. They're going to do Taiwan. They might be in coordination and do it together. That would be even better. At this point, I just really don't care. I care about my family. I care about you. I care about saving veterans' lives. And as that cascades to our fellow Americans, saving as many lives as I can. But as far as, well, I'd like to believe we get what we voted for, but we didn't. I didn't vote for this. 81 million Americans did. Sorry about that. This is comical, folks, that the OECD, the day after our Fed chief decides to come out and say that, we need to ditch transitory. How brave can these people be? I'd love to be the dude that runs this place and like sitting in the back going, okay, wow, did you hear Janet and Jay? Let's come out with a thing tomorrow that kind of agrees with them. How brave. I might close these calls. Well, let's brief. So this is funny. Whatever. Ms. Boone says everything what households are going through is a concern. Oh, thank you. People have been saying that higher inflation is transitory for 10 months or so. I would completely understand if some people started to become skeptical about that. I love when the elites kind of roll down their windows of their limos and kind of listen to what the crowd has been saying for a long time and go, yeah. We all saw Jerome Powell live do this, right? It's probably a good time to retire that word and explain more clearly what we mean. Clearly, the dude's not a fighter pilot. He's never been in a fighter squadron ready room. We don't talk like this. We talk like, what's his name from My Cousin Vinny, right? Vinny. His opening statement after the prosecutor. Everything that guy just said is bullshit. And he sits down. It's probably a good time to retire that word and explain more clearly what we mean. So let me translate Washington speak for you. We've been lying the entire time. We've been found out. The polls are destroying us. Chuck Schumer is getting a flamethrower. Boom. Yeah, exactly. You guys tell the truth. He gets paid to lie. And that's how he got his job back. But anyway, I laugh at this. Literally drinking my coffee going, the OECD, a day after Janet and Jerome come out and say it, they say it. Yay for you. Okay. Omicron variant sends policymakers scrambling as science lags behind. So when I see a headline like this is what makes me furious about people like Jim Cramer. Policymakers are scrambling as science lags behind. How about we let the science lead? And I'm embarrassed that a year and a half ago I said that, if Donald Trump says I'm not going to believe it, I respect Fauci. I was wrong. I'll write another book that says, man, I believe that guy at the beginning. Now he's a complete tool. Anybody who sits there on this Sunday morning talk show and goes, I am the science, I am the Senate, is awful. The second you can't criticize science, it becomes religion. Jim Cramer, all these people are branch Covidians. We all know how being religious zealots turns out for people, doesn't it? Men for centuries have done horrific things in the name of God and religion, right? 3,000 people dead in the Twin Towers, the Crusades, you name it. We've been killing each other. It's happening right now in Israel, man. So anyway, should have bailed out of him. Anyway, so this is what infuriates me. First of all, you get a bald Khrushchev Cramer going, you have to listen to the science. Well, what about all the doctors and nurses and professionals who aren't taking this, who criticize the science and say, here's some other science? How dare you listen to them? Delete your account, blocked off YouTube. You know how many doctors, buddies I got in South Florida were like, oh my God, dude, absolutely not. Only people I recommend it for is high-risk people. Other than that, absolutely zero. So this whole, we know going forward, we had this back here, folks. We had the Delta variant pullback. Remember? We were talking about this. Like, is the market? We knew about Delta for a while. Okay, Delta. Can we help you? Susie was a tri-Delt. Anyway, oh my God, Delta. Nobody, it's the same shit. Market recovered. Omicron. We're all going to die. Recovered. So what are we doing? So here's the lesson learned from all of this. Stop. Trade these things. Don't get me wrong. You can absolutely trade them, but let's take a look at the VIX. This was free money if you did these trades. How many of you did the I never got filled. I chased both of them, never got filled. There's your VXX. Free money, folks. And who, I think Shrek and a couple other folks did some great work and put on repair trades. They did a bear call spread. And then yesterday things look good. Oh, no. Yesterday things looked bad. Oh, added another one. So they got two bear call spreads on now that are making money. So nicely done. I've been focusing on Amazon. So why am I ranting about this? Start learning your lessons. COVID is here to stay. We will have COVID season every year. It will replace flu season. COVID is here to stay, folks. Duh. It's an effing virus. Its only mission objective is to live and to mutate. We'll defeat it. Okay. No, we won't. Live with it. Don't want to live with it? That's on you, man. Can't tell you what to do. Live with it. Anyway, but last night, a judge who absolutely believes in freedom blocked nationwide. He's like, did you not hear us? Dude who put his hand on a Bible and sworn to uphold the laws and support the Constitution. Joe, you want to talk about an insurrection? You want to talk about a dictator? Joe Biden is everything Trump, they said Trump was, right? Joe Biden, the eviction moratorium was unconstitutional. It's illegal, but we're going to do it anyway. What did you just say? How about I make a citizen's arrest? Judges across this country are like, this is most likely unconstitutional. We think mom and dad need to talk about it on the Supreme Court. The White House, don't listen to the judges. Continue ordering your employees to do this. America, ladies and gentlemen, where a co-equal branch of government says, don't listen to the other branch. If this were Donald Trump saying, I'm ignoring courts, he'd be impeached for the 171st time. Where are we as a country, folks? A judge blocked it. Do not do this. That is in order. The White House, just keep doing it. I would love this if I was working somewhere. I'd go into work today and I'm not taking it. It's illegal, according to a district court judge. No, we're going to force you to take it, Wiz. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue the president. I think it's great that Kyle Rittenhouse can sue Joe Biden. Well, Wiz, as the sitting president, he's immune. No. As the sitting president, he's immune to certain things. He was a candidate when he defamed and committed libel against Kyle Rittenhouse. He absolutely can sue. Everybody remember Paula Jones? Remember that scumbag Bill Clinton? Well, it depends on what your definition of is. Anyway, so this is how this country gets ripped apart. Did you see on Tucker Carlson last night? The Reagan Institute came out with a study the other day. The United States military, one of the most respected institutions for almost all of my life, has hovered around 75% respect and trust from the American public. Did you see what the current survey is? It's down in the 50s. For the first time in my 52 years on this planet, the United States military is diminishing in the eyes of you. Now, I sat with that last night out by the pool with the flowing water, and I'm like, oh my God, here's what the American public is having a problem with. It's the leadership. They don't have a problem with the average Marine, sailor, soldier, spaceman, Coast Guardsman. It's the leadership. When they hold briefings going, white rage and COVID are our number one priorities, and then we see 11 Marines, a soldier, and a corpsman blown to pieces. It's the leadership when we see it. 7 children trying to find water are vaporized by Joe Biden. Not one general, admiral has been held accountable, but we held accountable a colonel up in North Carolina for criticizing. So, ladies and gentlemen, it really did hurt me last night to see that in the eyes of the American public, the military is losing its shine. I read an article, was it Vox, Axios, one of those last week, that talked about a civil war and how likely is that type of thing. It mapped out how republics end, and I shit you negative, folks. I was like, it's us. One of the last things was they mapped everything out. I'm like, that's us right now. That's us right now. The last thing was the military. Republics on average last 250 years, this article said. And the last kind of dying, gasping breath of a republic is failed military stuff. That's when society starts to kind of really sputter. We were once a great republic that, people feared and trembled in front of us. Not that I want that. My point being is when the republic is really, really set to fall, it's the military that goes last. I was shocked. Somebody see if you can find it. It was Tucker Carlson last night, the Reagan Defense Institute or something like that. And again, you guys know my mission. I'm trying to save these veteran lives. I can't. It's just, man, that's heartbreaking. That sucks. Nearly 9,000 Marines didn't get vaccinated. Many are getting kicked out of the Marine Corps. In our current military, we only want people who are robots, who are autonomous killing vehicles. You do not question anything, right? I'm one of the few people that when I watch A Few Good Men, I actually root for Colonel Jessup. Liberals want the Marine Corps full of Private Santiagos who are fat and can't run and write to mommy and all sorts of shit. Give me Colonel Jessup's. But let's kick out all these Marines. Dow drops 650 points on growing Omicron fears. Hal Taper comments. Why are we going to spend some time on this? Well, here's the deal. Well, yeah, you do. You want me on that wall. So here's the deal, folks. I am stunned at the. No, I'm not. Look at this headline. Let's break it down. Dow dropped 650 points on growing Omicron fears. Okay. Powell taper comments. Folks, for the past fill in the blank year, these things were opposite, meaning Omicron fears, COVID fears. This dude used as what? I'm going to keep printing money, interest rates. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. COVID, COVID, COVID. How many times have I briefed you in the past year, folks, that every time this guy does the bullish, bearish, dovish, whatever, the last sentence of everything he says is what? But COVID. COVID can change all of this. That was his get out of jail free card for the past year. He used it. Well, COVID. So all this can change in the blink of an eye. Yay, okay. Market went up. Look at that headline. He's got COVID, market imploding. And he yesterday said what? Yeah, I kind of have to do my job now. It's time. This was 10 months ago to do it, but apparently it's time for the Fed. It's time to ditch the word transitory. Ladies and gentlemen, my 2-year prediction, which we are 12 months into today, so I got another year on this prediction, and I'm going to be right. I don't want to be. Joe Biden's sophomore year will be a horrific recession and a bear market. I guarantee it. I was doing some math last night and looking out into the future to some puts and all sorts of stuff, man. It is going to be awful. Him yesterday admitting that what we all know, that inflation is raging, the supply chain sucks, and COVID people. It's so funny yesterday because he's like, well, Omicron is going to scare people not to go back to work again. Okay, good. Don't pay those people. They can starve. Provide for yourself. Our founding fathers would be like, what are you people doing? We signed the damn Declaration of Independence in the middle of a smallpox pandemic. What's the mortality rate? 99.9%. Are you people retarded? Like half of us died. 0.01 of you die and you're acting like this? Give me this country back. Anyway, this is bad. At this point, the economy is very strong and inflationary pressures are higher, and therefore appropriate, in my view, to consider wrapping up the taper of our asset purchases sooner. Uh-oh. I told you this, folks. I've been telling you he needed to stop printing money ages ago, and he should have started raising interest rates ages ago. This will not be a smooth landing. I'm guaranteeing it, folks. This is a career call. And I'm going to destroy the market. I guarantee you. Book number 3, I'm already starting to write because this is going to happen. And it is self-induced. Everybody tracking. Anybody disagree? I love disagreements. Anybody think yesterday was bullish? The only reason we were up or are up for a little bit is a relief rally. That ain't super recovery yet, guys. I told you last week, I said most likely 4,600. If we don't hold 4,650 and we break it with airspeed, we need 4,600. If we hang here today, 4,600, I think the 50 is out of danger. We'll see what turnaround Wednesday brings. We might, now that we're in December, get our Santa Claus rally. There was a shit ton of Amazon news last night from Goldman Sachs and Microsoft, all sorts of stuff. Phyllis, today a top Scottish woman rugby player, 26-year-old, tragically died. The media's not reporting what she died of. Yep. The most straightforward theory of Western Rome's collapse pins the fall on a string of military losses sustained against outside forces. You got it. Rome had tangled with Germanic tribes for centuries, but by the 300s, the barbarian groups like the Goths had encroached beyond the... Yeah, exactly. Yep. They felt invincible and that the overexpansion and overspending. I think it was, I always forget this, Alex de Tocqueville, whatever his name is. Like, once a republic realizes that they can spend themselves into, or think that they can spend themselves into largesse, they're screwed. I think we're going to set up for a little run here in Amazon. So I might close these short calls for a little bit of a loss. Or not. Okay. Let's keep briefing and then we'll get to. So this is a perfect headline. Stocks open higher as seesaw moves on Omicron continue. Investors struggle to assess implications of COVID variant business. Nobody cares. At least, folks, the Panthers game last night, absolute insanity. They were down 4-1, scored 3 goals in the fourth period to tie it, and then with 14 seconds left, scored the 5th goal. We beat them 5-4. It was bagged. Again, when people visit from out of state, they're like, oh my God, Florida, you guys live. I'm like, you don't? So I love this. I love talking to my buddies in New York. One guy, he's furious because here she imposed the governor a state of emergency and this, and he's like, dude, I thought I came back in as the housing market was low down here, and here we come again with Omicron. I'm like, dude, well, of course you know how I treat him. I'm like, you're an idiot. He was up in West Palm Beach. This is fantastic, but the housing market in New York's going to come back. I'm like, it's not. And if it does, check out the smash and grabs and people just walking up to you on the street and shooting you in the head or throwing you in the subway. Come on, man. Anyway, enjoy New York. With higher rates on the horizon, some pandemic favorite stocks are suffering. A year ago, I told you to destroy Peloton. I didn't listen to myself. I should have destroyed Peloton. That was a free trade, guys. If we get into some of this shit again, I got to be smarter about talking through this stuff. I mean, Peloton was up at 170. I was getting bearish on it, and I mean, what is it, 7? I don't even know what it is, but it's insane. If you're hey, what acronym is this? We use it often. When in doubt, run the MA. If you're Amazon, Microsoft, or Apple, you don't need to borrow at low rates. You've got huge balance sheets. With rising rates, the mega techs are what? Much less affected. Let me give you one of our cute wizisms. When interest rates are high, stocks will die. When interest rates are low, stocks will grow. Interest rates going up, folks, the market's going to get destroyed. We laughed about this yesterday. FTC asked Amazon and Walmart for information about supply chain issues. What? I thought Mayor Pete was all over this, especially when he was on maternity leave. We're in the middle. The supply chain crisis is getting worse, according to buddies on the left coast. And now the government's like, can you give us some data? This is your government at work, folks. And here comes Nancy Five Scotch Pelosi wanting to add another $5 trillion into it. The reason inflation is raging, Mitch McConnell can't stand the dude, but he gave a good speech yesterday on the floor of the Senate. And he said, this inflation is self-induced. Let's round up. The $2 trillion last COVID bill was unneeded. Trillion, ladies and gentlemen. I remember when we used to talk in billions and it was a lot of money. Democrats throw around the T word like it's a B word. Oh, Ben Franklin said that? Thank you, Ray. When the people find that they can vote themselves money, that will herald the end of the republic. We laughed yesterday about how the hedge funds had their worst month in history. Get into the most shorted name stocks and be long them, and you will print money. Goldman Sachs unveils Amazon-backed cloud service for Wall Street trading firms. The bank is opening up access to its trove of market data and software tools to hedge funds and asset managers. Isn't that awesome? Goldman Sachs Financial Cloud for data with AWS. Folks, this is literally the Death Star. There was other Amazon news last night. What else did I had like 5 tabs with Amazon news. What was my quotes? And there was a ton of Amazon news last night. There was some other big Amazon news. Yeah, wasn't it Facebook? Yeah, duh. Meta, beta, beta. Since it's Mark Zuckerberg, I'll use the term beta. He's your typical beta male. You can smell the soy from, he's like Data from Star Trek. AWS and Facebook has deepened its relationship. Dude, this is, I got to be honest with you, sitting here staring at, seeing Amazon up at pre-market at 3560s, I was certain we were going to see 3600, 3650 today. I'm shocked. Well, now you know my commit criteria for adding the Feb calls. That is stunningly bullish good news for Amazon. You can't get more bullish. Facebook and Amazon with Meta. Holy shit. So coiled spring. So now you have my commit criteria for this. I'm buying some lotto calls, man. I bought 5 Amazon 3,700 calls to cover a potential Christmas rally, maybe even to hold through January earnings. We have seen in Amazon earnings in Q4 earnings that go insanely stupid, and the stock goes insanely stupid. So I might keep those on. Look at this. Here's a good run. There you go. There's a Jan. Look at that Jan run. It sold off on earnings, of course, because even though they were awful. I'm sorry, this is COVID. Where's that one where it did the spike? Whatever. We're in weekly options, but I wanted to brief you on this. I already talked about that. What's down here? Psychedelics. That's for tomorrow. All right, let's talk about volatility. Jeff, NBC Nightly News said Amazon Prime Air is on track to be bigger than UPS and FedEx in 2022. I love that. Can you find me a link to that story, Jeff? Since I don't watch NBC News, that is great. We knew that kind of anyway. Buried in the FTC order on supply chain, I'm hopeful the FTC's new $6 billion study will shed light on market conditions and business practices that may have worsened these disruptions or led to asymmetric effects. Oh yeah, things might not be what they seem. You know what? Let me get out of these calls. That's enough. Where are they? 13. I'll take a little bit of a loss because we're going to get on a run here. What's that? $1,500. Come on. Oh, all or none. I think we're going to start running here. I think that was about an $1,800 loss. Or no, 2,800. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm doing my math right here. I sold these at what? 1680, 1880. Oh, that's $2,000. I'm feeling a run. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll try and find that as well. That's a great. I mean, I've said that before, just on anecdotal stuff. I got a ton of buddies at FedEx. They are like, I mean, they're all senior. What's that one punch? Let me take a look at that. Copy, paste, and go. I didn't see this one. Amazon's cloud unit launches new chips to take on Intel and holy shit, they're coming out. Wiz, I want to be bullish on chip makers. Here you go. Look at their 2020 sales, man. AWS is bigger than most chip companies. This is great. Good intel punch. I thought yesterday, I was sitting on the couch, man. I'm like, well, look at all this Amazon news that's flying around. Wow. The company released the 3rd generation of its Graviton chip that is designed to compete with AMD. 25%. Wow. Yeah, I'll share this with you. Good intel punch. It's in the chat box. there is a ton of bullish on Amazon right now. That's why I'm sitting here staring at it going, you probably need to get off the mat. James, yesterday, it's funny you mentioned that because yesterday I got out of all my bearish rut trades clearly too early. How many of you stayed in your bearish? Well, let me pull up the Russell. Look at the technically the Russell. If you are bearish, if you held your bearish trades on the Russell, I did the math last night, just the one that costs like $2,000, you're up $12,000 today. Remember we did that like a month ago? Right about here we did that. Halfway up because I'm like, oh, this thing's going to implode. And it kept going. And I'm like, crap. When it got back to around here, I got out and then it kept going. Oh, good. Well, some of you stayed in it. Good for you. Awesome, Bob. That's close enough. I think I did the math last night. That is awesome. Anybody else stay in the rut? I want some success stories. Bob did, and Bob said he got out yesterday for 11 grand. Bob, what did you pay to get in that trade to begin with? David, 6 grand. Randy stayed in rut puts, closed today for 70% return. Look at you guys. David made 6. Yeah, okay, good. Love it. Well done. Dropbox. All right, let's talk vol. Sorry, I'm going long. I needed to rant about Cramer. That dude's just awful. Rut, bearish, profits. You guys, a lot more disciplined than me, and I respect it. I love when people destroy me. Mike, still in February puts. I entered far too early and still underwater. Bob, my max profit could have been 14K. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, you know what? Good catch. I forgot about that. I need to stare over here at the TV as well. So Jerome Powell yesterday and Janet destroying everything in the House. I'm sorry, the Senate. Now he's talking to Crazy Maxine. He might do some damage control, folks. We'll see. Let's see what happens here with Jerome. Do they clean up any destruction yesterday? And remember, in the Senate, those dudes get what, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and they can actually have a conversation. In the House, it's 5 minutes. I'm going to yell at you. It's 5 minutes of Republicans yelling at him and saying, well, I'm not going to get into the politics, followed by him getting into politics for 5 minutes of Black Lives Matter and climate change and all the other crap on the other side of the aisle. So it could be theater over here, or be very careful. He could go even worse than he did yesterday. I have no idea what the dude's going to say. Only what he said yesterday. How we looking here? Oh boy. Yeah, and then good point, Greg. Let's take a look at when the lieutenants come out, if they come out to bat cleanup on Thursday. Who do we have? Bostich. Oh, what's Janet doing? Oh, what a perfect keynote. Janet's speaking at the Leading the Way in Challenging Times. Challenging times that are what? Self-induced, folks. I love this build back broke plan. How about the put it where you found it plan? Donald Trump, highest stock market, unemployment at record lows across all categories, Hispanic, you name it, all sorts of stuff. And then here we go. And there goes the market. I might sell some calls here if they're gonna do this again. Shit. Here we go. Let me try and maybe I might do 15 of these. If they're gonna pound this market, we gotta protect ourselves here. Wages rising, but not at a troubling rate. All right. Well, you know what? Since we're talking here, let's stop this and talk about volatility. How many of you are in the VXX trades? Did I even post those? I sent out a text and email alert. I don't know if I put those on the page. I did not. Okay, let's go through them right now. Because I might put some on today. So bear call spreads. These are all lessons learned, folks. When you see these type of things happen in the market, you can trade in and out of them. Look at this stair step down. In the past 3 days, you didn't need me to tell you anything. Bear call spread, cash it out. Bear call spread, cash it out. Bear call spread, cash it out. Look at that. That's what this is doing. That's how you trade volatility, in and out. You should not be holding these trades. Okay, you need to be you trade. This is tradable. So let me actually trade since you guys did some. I forget. Somebody refresh my memory. What was the initial one? I know Shrek put on a repair one. Maybe a 24.5, 25 out the Friday, or a 24.25. Yeah, the 23 is not too bad. Yeah, the 23, 23.5, guys, I still think looks good. That's definitely a hold. If I was to do a fresh one, it would be this one. It did initially run away from me. That's why I give a range. It went outside of my range, so I didn't chase it. I think he's gonna clean up today. I like this one. I like a 23.5, 24. Selling 150 of Friday's 23.5 calls, buying as a hedge in case I'm wrong and they destroy it again today. The 24s in case it runs away to the upside, in case the market implodes, volatility explodes, and they do some bad today. But again, remember, it's Friday. It's Wednesday at 10:43 in the morning. Friday is a world away. I just showed you the Janet speaking, and then a couple Fed, or not more than a couple Fed lieutenant. Where are these guys? Is there a conference? Oh, the AEI, the American Enterprise Institute. Well, no, this is one's at AEI. This one is the Peterson Institute for. Here's what's funny. This is all of these are different conferences. You'd almost think that this is coordinated. Now, warning, Will Robinson. Is this coordinated because they're going to go out over the next 2 days and back up the skipper? Are they going to go out on the road and go, inflation isn't transitory, we're going to taper quicker, and bad things are coming? That is a distinct possibility, folks. If that is a distinct possibility to you and your commit criteria for getting bearish on volatility on Monday or yesterday or today has changed, eject from the trade right now. How do I feel? I'm a 50 delta, folks. I don't know. I haven't seen 4 lieutenants going out. 5, I'm sorry, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the skipper of our sister service going out to talk. They can do a lot of damage. They can do a lot of good. They can do both. Dove, dove, hawk, hawk. This is interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. Now, this is why there's premium in this trade. You cannot make money taking little risk. Actually, you can make money taking little risk, and it's called little money. Can you make a lot more money taking a lot more risk? Yes. So I'm briefing you. I would not be doing my job as your instructor pilot and not brief you on there's danger over tomorrow and what's Friday? Anything going on Friday? Oh, shit. And non-farm payroll. Duh. ADP was this morning. That's right. I was sitting in the car at yoga listening. ADP was a little good. In line, but kind of okay. All right, so there you go. Before you press fire on any trade or anything, you got to sit here and do your intelligence gathering. So there is a distinct possibility in the next 2 days this continues. Maybe we do get down to the 50 before we head higher. That is a distinct possibility, folks. Again, you have got to red team all of your trades. Do you sit here before you press click on your mouse and look at all the potential threats? I have said what? I said at the beginning of this brief, if we hold 4,600 today, it's bullish. If we don't, it's bearish. Period. That's me. You can draw, do, say whatever you want. I'm just briefing you. So, doing this bear call spread, is not without risk. All right, done. I did my job. I do it again. I'm going back to my base. I love that movie. All right, I'm going to grab a screenshot of this. I will put this trade on the member page. So there is all the commit criteria that I would have used Monday as well. VXX, hold on, desktop, VXX, 12.1. Metrics are risking 55 to potentially make 2. You could. I mean, you could leg into an iron condor, but I think a big outlier, folks. An hour is a lifetime in this market. I mean, we could get the Fed lieutenant saying something tomorrow, and then Friday morning the payroll numbers. I have no idea how the payroll numbers are going to impact the market. What if they're blowout? If they're blowout, the market could say what? The dude's definitely going to taper quicker and raise interest rates. We're going to smash. I've seen that, guys. This ain't my first rodeo. Remember in Bizarro market, what happens? And then not in Bizarro market, good news is good news, bad news is good news, and awful news is great news. As we exit, if you listened to Jerome yesterday, as we exit Bizarro market, good news could be bad news. You have to listen to me, folks, because this really, retail traders is one of the reasons you hate Wall Street sometimes, right? Blowout jobs numbers on Friday. I'm buying this market, Wiz. Yay, good jobs. Market implodes. You got to remember who you're dealing with on the other side of this trade, ladies and gentlemen. You're dealing with crack addicts. You're dealing with people who are hooked on this liquidity. This market is hooked on Jerome Powell. And they're not going to be hooked on Jerome Powell leaving, especially sooner. That's why we were down 650 yesterday. I expect to taper more or quicker than anticipated. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that chart. Learn it, live it, love it. There's the Fed's balance sheet. There's the market. Somebody tell me how the market is going to keep going up. It can, but tell me the why. If you believe we can fly out of our nest and flap our wings and live on our own, great. But folks, that picture says it all right there. So I don't know why I'm rambling about this, because of Friday. I don't know what's going to happen, man. I'm going to go in at 14 cents because I think we're moving around a little bit here. Did I put all or none? Nope. Cut once, or what? Measure twice, cut once. All right. So I think we're good. Went a little long, but I mean, just Jim Cramer and these people. I get a dude. I'm one of them who can go off on a rant, but I usually clean up my rants if I believe I'm wrong, or I said something that was off base. That dude, oh geez, holy abortion today, Batman. How is your interest anything but a religious view? That's a religious view because it assumes that a fetus is life. So here we go, guys. You want to talk about this country becoming completely unglued. So a fetus isn't life? I love this definition, folks. A fetus doesn't become life until it comes out of a woman. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I can't believe I just said that. Or a man. Let's pick our lane of crazy in this country. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody for saying that. A fetus is alive when it comes out of a man or a woman. Isn't this so feminists have just got to be besides themselves. They've gone so far that even men can do everything women can, including sports now. Transgender woman destroys track meet, destroys weightlifting, destroys a woman in an MMA fight. I mean, a fellow woman. It assumes that a fetus is life. Folks, I served as an EMT, a paramedic. I've seen accidents where the mother dies and the child lives with a pregnant woman. So is that not life? Anyway, that's also the end of a republic, folks, is when, we just kind of, whether it's old people or the unborn, we're going to start rationing healthcare, right? You're a little too old. Yeah, birthing people. I'm sorry. It's birthing people. Anyway. Justin Sotomayor is comparing babies in the womb to dead people. Oh boy. I forgot that's going on today at the Supreme Court. Uh-oh. Notably silent thus far in oral arguments. Brett Kavanaugh. We'll see. There's still homosexuals out there. Remember all the one late night comedian like, I'm a homosexual. Yeah. Question for you, Your Honor. Were you a fetus? Maybe she wasn't. She might have hatched. Anyway, yeah, I know. All these transgenders moving into female prisons and then getting assaulted are suing the prison system. Whatever, man. I've given up on crazy. There's just so much crazy in this country. We've just, Reinkelman is arguing against the 15-week limit pre-viability line. Notably, the United States is one of only 7 countries out of 198 that allows for abortions against the 20-week line. So this is like iboga. The United States is one of 7 countries where ibogaine is illegal. And we're also one of 7 countries that, hey, you're allowed to kill children above this line. I'm sorry, a fetus, whatever. Benoit, this is great. Yesterday, I filled out a form to enter Switzerland, and I had to choose between a man, a woman, or other. Yeah, well, here we are, man. Pick our lane of crazy. All right, guys, good stuff. Sorry I went long, but we had a lot to talk about. Amazon's starting to run a little bit. The calls from yesterday are up $6,200. My lotto calls out to February. I'm going to keep them in my back pocket, baby, and just hang on to them. And then I think we're good. What did I lose on those calls? $2,000? I got to write that down. Always gotta keep track. -2,000 right there. All right. What do we got tomorrow? We have accelerated retirement. We're going to talk through some psychedelic stuff as well. I appreciate some of the emails I got last night helping us out with the No Fallen Heroes Red team. If you weren't here yesterday in solo Amazon or no primary live trade brief, do me a favor, shoot me an email. Wisdom Topkin Options. If you can think of anybody, philanthropic, charity, rich, star, your best friend who would like to be an investor. I'm not talking about our angel investors. The angel investors are closed. We got what we needed. The angel investors have funded the trailer, me focusing on this full time, our all sorts of stuff. We're looking for $1 million to $2 million, 1.5 to 2 to fund the movie and its release. And we're looking for a partner, not an investor. We're looking for somebody who wants to save lives. If you have some ideas, let me know. We got some great suggestions yesterday. Is that why the market went up a little bit? Both Yellen and JP are hedging in the house. Oh, good. I'm telling you, man, I've seen this. Whenever they do destruction one day, they walk down the hall the next day and go, well, here's what I really meant to say. So we'll see. We'll see if they really do some good cleanup here. All right, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I'll post these trades on the on the member page, and I'll get the replay posted here short. Yeah, do me a favor if you can. My Twitter is, I can't stand it, but I'm long Twitter stock. So how about, I love Twitter. It's at Top Gun. What is it? This is my Twitter handle. This is my 5th Twitter account, folks. I think the new Twitter CEO is just awful. You see, as soon as what happened yesterday, as soon as he came out, they did a whole bunch of crackdowns. Like, you can't even post pictures on here without somebody else's permission, or they're like cracking down on memes. It's so funny. The new CEO is like Dean Wormer in Animal House. No more fun of any kind. Did you see? Oh, I ranted the other day about this. Disney, who owns The Simpsons. The Simpsons, in a 1990 whatever episode, went to China. They went to Tiananmen Square and they saw a plaque that said, on this day in 19 whatever, nothing happened. They deleted that episode. Disney Plus did, because they didn't want to offend the Chinese. Cowards. All of them. So, Pam, what city in Florida is the premiere for the movie? I think we're going to rent out the iPic in Boca Raton in God's Waiting Room. So you can fly into Palm Beach, you can fly into Fort Lauderdale, you can fly into Miami. They're all kind of close. Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach are the closest, but I think we're going to rent out the iPic. We're going to watch Maverick first. We have 8 theaters, and the iPic's great. You get those big chairs. And so in between Maverick, we're going to have a little cocktail party reception downstairs. And then after Maverick, we're going to go watch No Fallen Heroes. You're welcome. All right, there we go, Amazon. Start running, baby. To the moon. Somebody's saying something nice. All right, guys, I'm getting some coffee. I'll sit here and trade for a little bit, get the replay posted. If you want to get in the hunters, I'm going to do a lifetime kind of brief next week, because there's some interest in that, because I am going to allow some of the lifetime to go to the foundation, so you can get not a write-off. Who gives a shit about a write-off? You can help save a veteran's life, and then maybe care about a write-off. Okay, all right, guys, have a good rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless all of you. I love you. Cheers.